Welcome to GSC Between Sets, episode number 2, featuring Michael Farr, Silent Mike. Mike, how you doing today?
Chilling, dude. Chilling. Can't complain, man. Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, Mike, can we still call you a powerlifter? I saw that you quit, and then apparently you started again, so I'm not really sure what's going on with that.
I like to keep things interesting. You know, you keep people on their toes. I tried to weight lift, but I can't put my hands over my head, which is a very difficult task and necessary. I gave it 6 months. Didn't feel good.
You were moving well, though. You were moving well.
It was okay. I used to be an athlete, you know. I don't know. So I feel like I can move quickly and explosively. My arms don't want to move anymore. I guess it depends on who you ask, because some people get so weird about well, you better compete every 6 months if you're a power lifter, and you better wear Speedos if you want to call yourself a bodybuilder. I like to lift weights. I'm decent at the squat, bench, deadlift. Those are fun to progress on. I like to power clean now a little bit just because it makes me feel good on the inside.
Those always feel really good. Why powerlifting in the first place? You just, is it?
I don't know. So I played basketball my whole life. Ended up trying to play some D1 basketball, and in my search to I'm 5'9". For those, we just talked, we don't do video anymore. Not that you could tell on video, but I'm not very tall. I'm a stubby little Italian kid. Basketball needs tall people. Typically, it helps you out. So I'm doing as much research as I can when I'm 18, 19, 20 on how to get faster, jump higher, etc. And most of it leads you to some kind of squat and some kind of pull. I ended up dropping out of college. Played in some little basketball leagues that were semi-pro or A leagues or kind of competitive against some ex-NBA guys. But that was the end of the career, and then I just kind of ran with it. Probably where I ran into you guys, 8, 9, 10 years ago at Midtown Strength downtown here. And that just kind of became my path. I wanted to help people. It was a way for me to kind of communicate, and fitness, powerlifting in specific is just what I was surrounded with. And that just kind of became the vessel for, my career, I guess.
Why'd you drop out of college?
Man.
What were you going to school for? What was your major? What was the plan?
The plan was to go to the NBA. I
didn't see that major when I signed up. I didn't see that major as an option.
It sounds so dumb now that I'm 31, but from third grade on, if any, you take a test in school or a little character test, or you talk to an adult and they're like, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? Not once did it cross my mind I was going to have a real job. It didn't cross my mind once. It probably still to today. I don't know what I do. I just, wake up in the morning and try to get stuff done. But I was going to be in the NBA. I was going to play professional basketball. That's the only thing I knew. That's the only thing I cared about. I did like the idea of making money kind of early. Me and my buddies started little businesses in 7th and 8th grade to try to buy stuff. And, whether we wanted sneakers or clothes or whatever, I DJ'd for a bit. I had a couple of professional music gigs. But in college, I didn't do anything. I don't want to speak on all college athletes, but you're going to school so you can play sports. I took some of the basics. I took some training stuff, and not necessarily strength and conditioning, but sideline trainer stuff, like wrapping knees and injury prevention. I took a bunch of those courses, a little bit of psychology I was interested in. But I hated it. I dropped out because the system was so impacted at the time. I think our generation, we're all similar-ish ages. Our generation was the generation so much so the world's telling us you have to go to college to be successful. Yeah. And so everyone started to go to college. If you're not going to college, you're going to be, a bum. You have no chance. So everyone's going to all the junior colleges. Everyone's filling up all the public colleges. And it got so frustrating for me because I already didn't want to go. I hated school. I was a good student, 3.8 GPA, all this nonsense, but my inside, it was such a struggle. And then now I can't get the classes I want. I'm taking 45 minutes to park in the parking lot.
Oh my God. Parking at colleges is just absurd. Underrated dilemma.
American River. I don't know if you guys went to American River at all over here. And it's an issue everywhere. But literally American River College, no offense, because they do have some good programs. It made me drop out because I couldn't park. And then I missed this chemistry class that I was up till midnight clicking to enroll in. It's just this whole process. And I'm 18.
CRC was bad too with that. It was just so many people. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like our stories are very much aligned.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us are, whether it's a sport or whether it's just not liking college or whether it's finding love for fitness or kind of needing to do our own thing. And I think that's a big topic now because everyone's wants to be an entrepreneur and business owner, but like, so there's no other option in my head.
On that, you mentioned when you were in 7th, 8th grade, just kind of spinning up little businesses to try and buy shit. What kind of little 8th grade schemes is Silent Mike running?
So first 7th grade scheme, first time I realized
selling dime bags.
No, I never sold drugs in my life. Never sold drugs. I went to a little art private school, I like sure there were some hippies, so people were smoking pot, but it wasn't the same.
You're wearing a Grateful Dead shirt right now, I think. So.
No, it's a Michael Jordan shirt.
Oh, doesn't it kind of look like
I wasn't paying attention. That's a sick shirt though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is Magic Johnson's little run at t-shirts in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So 7th grade, I hopped on the class organization to set up dances. So we had a Halloween dance and a Christmas dance. And me and my best friend were in it. Shout out to Chris, and he's still my best friend. And we're doing this thing, and we're like, man. So we hired the DJ, we got the decorations and all this, and we saw all the budgets, and we paid this DJ, I don't know, $800 or something, And he came, he did the dance, and he didn't play a single song that we wanted to hear.
Of course not, yeah.
Right. And so then we go in afterwards and have the meeting with the teacher and how it went, what could be improved. And me and my buddy are like, we paid $800 and this guy sucked. He doesn't know anything we like. I was like, what if we just DJ the next one? You pay us $300 and $300 in 7th grade, just me and my buddy.
You're balling.
So that turned into our first DJ business. And I DJ'd, maybe I'm the first aux cord DJ. I know that's a thing now, but we're talking 1999. And so a couple of the first ones, we did end up getting equipment, and I messed around on turntables. It's not like I was super talented or anything. But we ended up getting, for our birthdays and Christmas, we didn't get gifts anymore. We'd ask our parents for equipment for our business. So we started to get laser lights, and we started to get a mixing board. And we got a hard drive from a retired DJ that had 50,000 songs or something in it in 2001. Just you search anything and you can find it. We ended up doing a bunch of high school dances locally, some 7th and 8th grade dances locally, a couple weddings. And so that was probably the first real, I guess, entrepreneurial thing we did.
Yeah. You mentioned going to that kind of art school, right?
Yeah.
So was that a Waldorf school?
It was, exactly.
So I remember one time saying something, you guys, is it true you learned math by dancing and shit like that?
So you can people call us Harry Potter schools. People say there's some witchcraft going on. But you were a teacher, or you are a teacher, aren't you?
Yeah, but I did. Yeah, I taught for 8 years.
Yeah, so I'm really into it in some senses. I haven't pushed towards it anyways, but I speak about it on our podcast and stuff. I think education is obviously so important, and it's such a screwed up system here. And I was insanely lucky to go to the school. It costs an insane amount to go every year. My mom was a teacher there, so I went for free. Very, very lucky. And there's tons of jokes, and we joke about it, and it's a mess. And a lot of things even get a little bit dark when you start to go in there. It's a little weird when you dig deep into the philosophies, but the general philosophy, I think, is genius. Humans, especially kids, have so many different pathways to learn. Many in our public system are just forced to read to learn. You get a textbook, your teacher kind of talks to you, and then you memorize this textbook, you pass the test. And you skip. Our school is very much about hearing, seeing, and doing the same topic. So it sounds stupid. How do you do history? But one of my teachers would take us out when we're learning about the Roman history, and he would take us out and we learned formations that the Romans would walk in. Or we would learn, literally in the middle of class, we just all get up and go outside.
How to make corn with rocks and smash them in.
100%.
The Native Americans, yeah.
Exactly.
I actually did a tour there. It was a 6-hour tour. My mom wanted me to go there.
Oh, dang.
And I don't know if the financial stuff worked out or something, but I did the one over by the river.
I went there 13 years, dude.
Yeah. So I almost went there, kind of. I don't know, but I went through the touring process, and it felt very different.
Yeah.
But but it was I was oh, this is sick.
It is. And I didn't know any different because I went to 1 year at a Catholic school as a kindergartner, and then I went straight to this school forever because my mom taught there for 25 years. My sister went there, and then she ended up going to a different high school. But yeah, so you learn, you do, and sometimes it's marching in that sense. But sometimes as a kid, you're drawing beautiful art with math. So like we did dance with math. There is also weird dancing going on. There's like an interpretive dance called eurythmy. If you guys want to laugh at us, go ahead, Google eurythmy and see what comes up. It's weird. But yeah, you kind of, you do. And I think there's something to it. There's a lot of kids, our percentage of like success rate going to college is still insane. Like my graduating class is like 24 people and we had like 3 people get into Stanford.
Oh, wow.
But then you also have the other spectrum where kids have like learning disabilities and they're in the same classes with us. There's no like split classes. And they maybe just like excel at the art portion where I'm excelling at like the more, whatever studious portion or whatever it is. But it's definitely interesting. And I can't even compare that much besides the junior college stuff I did because I never had like a normal education, I guess.
So between DJing at high schools and weddings when you're in 8th grade and doing interpretive dance, can you sing?
So you're forced to do everything. I was in choir for 12 years. I was in an orchestra. I played the cello.
Dan, I told you he could fucking sing. I knew it.
Yeah. I don't like my voice is the issue. Yeah. We learned the opposite happens too, where you learn music by doing, like most people do, like you play the instrument, you have orchestra, but we learn musical like theory, which is more, like math and like book type stuff. I obviously forgot it all because you don't use it, you lose it kind of deal. But I can sing. I don't like my voice. If I had a gift, I'd bring this question up. Like, if you could choose one thing you're really good at, and I loved basketball more than anything, I'd love to be 6'8" and dunk on everybody. But I think I would love to be able to like have a pipes. Like, if I could just have a pure voice, I think that would be the most.
That would be a good one.
It'd be so good. Even if I'm not famous for it, just like being able to sing and sound, like really feel what you're doing would be cool.
Dude, way better than being 6'8" because you can sing. You can still get into any car, no problem. Airplanes wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
6'8", that's got to be a pain in the ass.
My knees hurt now, and I'm 5'9". I can't imagine what a 6'8" dude's knees feel like.
You're about 35 years old, and then you can't walk anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. My buddy, shout out to Jacob. He coaches a bunch of NFL and NBA guys. And one of his main guys was in NBA, my buddy Luau, and hanging out in town with Luau. He's 6'9". And just noticing little things that he has to do different in life. Like he's dodging his head through everything. He doesn't fit in clothes. Like nothing is normal when you're 6'8".
Oh man. Funny, you go too far the other way. It's a pain also. Like I never thought about it, but talking to, weightlifter Morgan King and then Nicole Lim, I overheard a conversation. They were complaining, like every time I'm on an airplane for more than 45 minutes, my knees hurt for 3 days because they're just dangling. There's like kicking their feet. There's like kicking their feet the whole time.
Or driving.
They gotta put a backpack underneath their feet to like have something to hang their feet on so they're not just dangling,
Yeah, driving's probably hard. Like even my feet, like I'm pretty close to the steering wheel and I'm 5'9". I just have kind of short legs. But if I was 5 foot or 5'1", issues. Oh, dude.
Yeah, how do you get in there?
Issues.
Hey, so do you eat breakfast?
I don't, dude. I don't. I think if I'm the first aux court DJ, I think I might as well say I invented intermittent fasting as well, since we're making claims on today. I don't think I've ever ate breakfast. I don't know how deep you guys want to get either, but I've had anxiety.
We talk a lot about fasting on here, honestly.
Really? Yeah, I'm not a fan of fasting or anything. I had anxiety my whole life. I still deal with it. But as a kid, it manifested in my stomach. Every morning, I can remember from being age 6 to even 18, I'd have the worst stomach ache. And it was probably anxiety going to school, just because I'm not very social and I don't know, but I'd have the worst stomach ache. And so since a kid, I've never eaten breakfast ever. And then now as an adult, the anxiety manifests in different ways, but I'm just not hungry. I'm not hungry until like 11 o'clock. So maybe I'll have some coffee or something like that. But otherwise, I just don't eat.
That's what I do. I just do a nice cup of Joe.
Yeah.
And I don't eat it. And then I don't eat until lunchtime.
Yeah. I'm just not hungry.
I just feel it's funny. When I was younger, I never ate breakfast ever. Was never a breakfast kid, except for maybe Sundays. So I'd go over to the neighbor's house with like pancakes and shit or something like that. But besides that, like I wasn't really a big breakfast kid. And then in my older, a little bit of adult years, I was like, maybe I should start eating breakfast or something. Did some weight on somehow.
Most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eat this bowl of sugar. Most important meal of the day.
I think my family was saying, like, we had big family dinners, not big, but we had family dinners. All four of us would sit down every single night. But my dad went to work really, really early. He like worked like overtime in the morning and overtime at night. So he would just leave the house at like 6 or something. So we didn't really have family breakfast. And then my mom's a teacher, so she's got to get to school at the same time I do. So we're just kind of rushing around the house. No one really ate, I don't think.
What time do you get up in the morning? Do you get up at the same time every day?
Luckily, I work for myself. I do have a lot of different like things we're juggling in my life, but I work for myself. And so when I find myself most productive is when I let my body wake up. I'm not a morning person, but I can get it done. You know, if you guys said, hey, we're podcasting at 6 a.m., I'm like, that's the only time we got. You're like, yeah, if you say, yeah, I'm like, all right, I'll get it done. I'll wake up at 5:30 and come hang with you guys. But when I'm most creative and feel most energized is when I let my body wake up. And I'd say it's somewhere between bum life and professional. I wake up at like anywhere between 7 and 8:30, depending on how busy I was the day before or not. I'd say the average is probably 8 o'clock. My body kind of wakes up. And not being a morning person though, I get right to it. I literally wake up, grab some kind of caffeine source. I'm right here at my desk and it's email time. Like it's banging it out.
How do you, when you brew coffee at home, how do you do it?
So I've been lazy. I have an issue, and maybe you guys can help solve this.
Yeah,
issue.
Can you tell us about it?
I have a lot of issues.
We're actually having it's a new feature on the show. It's called Dr. D. Danny and D.
Whoa. What's Dr. D fix?
You know what Dr. D fix is.
Everybody needs a little D in their life.
Everyone
I've heard.
Hey, gotta get that D.
Double D's.
Dr. Double D.
So double D's are a whole nother thing we need in our life as well. I can't drink hot coffee in the summer. I can only drink hot coffee in the winter, and vice versa. I can't drink cold. Sacramento's really hot. You guys are local boys. It's really hot here. I can't do it. And so sometimes it might be an energy drink. That's almost embarrassing to say. I don't know why. It might be an energy drink in the morning. All the time. Yeah, because it's cold.
I'm the same way.
Wintertime, probably I'll say October to April. It's a pour over. It's a single cup, little pour over in my kitchen. Summertime, I'd like this morning I went to, or yesterday I went to Dutch Bros and I bought a couple of the cans of cold brew.
Okay.
So I stocked up a little bit. That was this morning. Or something? Yeah, it's so good. Their cans are one of the better ones, I think.
I really like Dutch Bros because they do like everything's espresso. It's not it's not brewed coffee that's been chilled. It's just it's all Americanos. Yeah. So it always going to taste pretty good. We're not going to necessarily get that from like the other bigger chains, but
right. Even some like places I thought had like coffee, they don't. Like they just like, it's like a burnt pot and then they put it in sugar or something or whatever. But it's kind of gross. So it's a pour over move or a cold brew move.
That was the issue with Panera, right? So Panera Bread did this, whatever they're going to do like a coffee club membership thing where you just pay whatever $10 a month, you get unlimited coffee. And then when they first launched it, they're like, hey, and we're actually going to say free. If you sign up, you get free coffee for 30 days. And then after that, it's just whatever, $10 a month. You just keep getting that's it for coffee. And it sounds great. And then I read some articles, some journalist was like, so I decided to do the free coffee for Panera Bread. And this is why it didn't work. Like basically he picked it up for 3 days. And like on day 4, he was like driving there and he's like, I just can't fucking do it again.
Yeah.
Like he said it was just so bad. It was not worth getting for free.
You can go to McDonald's and get a coffee for $1 and it's actually not terrible.
Why is everyone into Dunkin' Donuts coffee? I feel like that's not good.
So it's so they're kind of in that they're in that like kiddie, really sweet drink style coffees that kids really like. So it's like the high sugar. Well, yeah, of course it tastes good. It's got 40 grams of sugar and it's got caramel and stuff inside. And they make a good like craft coffee cocktail kind of like sweet drinks.
Because I had their normal coffee. It was gross. Like a normal iced coffee or cold. Because even like a brewed iced coffee, non-cold brew from Starbucks isn't terrible. It's not the best thing. It's not. But it's good. You could drink it. You could suck that thing down. I had one from Dunkin' Donuts and everyone online's like, Dunkin' Donuts coffee, best chain. It was kind of gross.
Yeah, it's nothing special. It's just a drip, mass-produced drip.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that Tim Hortons. It's mostly in Canada. There's some in the U.S. also. They're on every corner in Canada. Yeah. It's Tim Hortons. And so you go and I just got a medium coffee, like regular coffee. And they give it to me. And it's like, I think it was like the color of my skin. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is not like, it's just so much milk and sugar and like
American black coffee.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, ask for, I just said coffee. So apparently you have to clarify, like, I want a black coffee with no cream. Like, it was just the go-to was like 4 tablespoons of cream and, sugar. Like, it was just,
We're just so spoiled here in Sacramento. Like, we have really good food. We have really good coffee. Like, we have 6 shops that make like unique. So a lot of them roast their own stuff, and it's all really good.
Yeah. All the main guys, your big players, the Camellias, the Identities, the Temples, they're all doing all their micro roasting, and it's all very premium stuff, single origin stuff, not all of it, but it's all, they all do a really good job. Sacramento is a coffee hub for sure.
It really is. I don't think it's known internationally yet. I think a lot of people think of the Seattles and the Portlands or even the LAs, but we're next level.
Yeah, we're crushing it for sure.
Hey, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. What are you doing today? You got any big plans today?
Dude, I might have to tell you guys off stream here or off recording how crazy my life is. We got some projects brewing over here. Dean might know a little bit about it. So things are full throttle. My day, typically speaking, is just phone calls. Yeah, stuff like this. So whether it be a podcast, a little meeting, me doing some research online, some emails and stuff. I try to get that all done. I'm a lazy dude, man, to be honest. I'm like the hardest working lazy dude. So I wake up, I caffeinate my brains out and just bang through what I don't want to do. Not that I don't want to talk to you guys, but emails and all that.
Yeah, the busy work.
I already did all that. That's this morning. So first part is shit I really don't want to do.
Eat the frog, right? That's the Mark Twain. If you had to eat a frog every day, the best thing you could do is eat it first thing in the morning.
I never heard that, but that's exactly how I set up my life. And so then next portion would be like meetings and more serious stuff. And then so afternoon hits, literally 12 and past is more stuff, content creating, stuff I enjoy and I hope to think I'm decent at. So it's chatting with you guys, and then it's Twitch streaming, especially since kind of the lockdown's been the thing. I can't really get in a gym and do my normal content. I've Twitch streamed like 90 out of 92 days straight. Nice. And we're just kicking it. Yeah. We're doing conversations like this, but live every day in the afternoon. And then I stream until 8 or 9 o'clock at night, maybe grab something to eat, lay in bed, numb my face to some like Star Wars or Jurassic Park or something.
What are you doing on Twitch?
What am I doing on Twitch?
Yeah.
A little bit of everything. So I love video games, played them my whole life. So Warzone came out, a new Call of Duty game. I'll play a little bit of that. I'll play this nerdy PC game called Tarkov. It's like a super realistic shooter, but it's about this post-apocalyptic world kind of, and it's just super immersive. Like each gun piece has like their real names and all this stuff. I'm not like a gun guy. I don't really know anything about that, but it's all my buddies are into it, so we play that. And then sometimes it's stuff like this. I'll just sit down and chill and chat with people that are hanging out, whether it's like kind of a fitness Q&A, whether we're talking about music, we're talking about trending topics, we're talking about life, especially what's going on in the world. We've had some pretty civil conversations, which is hard to do on the internet, which was really good. We'll talk, food, kind of whatever. It's just a place, I think, like podcasting and what you guys have done over at Caffeine Kilos, a way to build another community. Is Caffeine Kilos about coffee? Yeah, sure. But it's like about community, and coffee is just kind of what is that string. Twitch is kind of like that too, where it's about gaming, and we all kind of found it because we were nerds. But what draws us together is really, we're humans and we're all going through whatever we're going through.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. That's a perfect way to explain all that.
So you do some Twitch streaming, and then you have the business stuff going on. What is it right now that you're doing that you think that you're good at or you're best at? Like, what do you look forward to, I guess,
I don't know, dude. I don't really know anymore. Like, I think at my core, I've spent a lot of time working with humans. Like, I'm a coach. I coached high school basketball for 5 years. I did a ton of in-person coaching over the last decade through powerlifting. Am I the best X and O's programmer on the world? No. Am I in like the 1%, considering all population of knowledge and fitness? Maybe. Like, I know a lot. I've worked hard at it. I'm definitely not the best. I'm not the guy reading evidence-based stuff every morning to really keep up to date. But I have really good friends that do that, and then I learn from them. So I do stay up to date. I don't know what I'm good at, dude. I think I'm decent at making content. I'm decent at talking. I think I'm decent at relating to humans of many different kinds, whether it is the guy that deadlifts 900 pounds or it's the person that's scared to go deadlift but wants to go deadlift for the first time, the video gamers. I can talk about anything to anyone, But I think that's not that much of a gift. I think a lot of people can. Because I went to this art school, I'm not afraid to hop on camera. And now after 8 years of doing it, I'm not, I just put it publicly where some people are a little nervous with that. I mean, I've been on stage going back to my childhood. Like I've been on stage dressed in dresses, singing a Shakespeare song or something in third grade. Like, you just kind of break down all these barriers and just don't really care anymore.
Which is important nowadays, especially when kids are so kind of sheltered and not exposed to those kind of conditions as much, as they probably should be to kind of get over those hurdles early on. Yeah.
And again, even not my school, but like Sacramento, California is a little different than if you grew up in a different country or even a different part of our country. Yeah. Everyone's perspective is a little different. So yeah, I guess I have no like embarrassment or shame to do stupid things on the internet. Might be one of my skills.
Yeah. Are you still, how's that YouTube channel going? Are you still posting regularly to it? And the reason I ask is I hopped on Google earlier. I said, let's see if there's anything new going on with our buddy Silent Mike. And what popped up when I Googled your name was the title of a video that said why I'm stopping on YouTube. But it was fun because it was a YouTube video titled why I'm stopping making YouTube videos.
Yeah. Welcome to YouTube 2020, my friend. You gotta do it all. And I don't even remember. I've done so many freaking videos at this point, but I think I'm talking about what I kind of quickly went over is that like people can't get to a gym right now, so like I just don't want to. And there's some people that are and they built home gyms and probably want information, but I don't want to like put in anyone's face like, hey, how to deadlift 315 when you can't. No one's in a gym right now. We're all in a little bit of a predicament. And me myself, I haven't been in a gym. I sat down yesterday, did a podcast with our buddy Brian Abs, and that was the first time I stepped foot. It's really good, dude. And I don't ever say like, yo, my podcasts are good. This one is turned up.
What's the official mayor of Sacramento?
Yeah, bro, Brian's the guy. I don't know if you guys want to avoid politics and things or life things, but
we don't really avoid
anything.
Brian, a black man, grew up in the Bay Area. His father was law enforcement, and he's a local business owner. I don't know if you get those four perspectives. Owner. Right. I don't think you get those four perspectives from a lot of human beings. Right. Like Danny, you're a dad, you're a business owner, you're a Sacramento guy. You don't got the black part. Like, right. There's a lot of pieces. I have a couple of them. We don't have, Brian has
got a lot.
Yeah. I don't have law enforcement in my family. I'm not black either. There's a lot of things that people don't have. And, I was like, bro, we got to talk to Brian. Like he knows, he's seen, he has a perspective that none of us have. The podcast is called 50% Facts. It's with our buddy Jim McD. I don't know when that episode's dropping. We're trying to get it out quick. We literally recorded it yesterday afternoon.
Well, let's do a spoiler. What was your biggest takeaway after that conversation? When you walked away, what was the one thing where you're like, oh man, like that really hit home? Like maybe you can share with us, since we.
Yeah. I think a lot of it, I think just looking in someone else's eyes and really seeing, I grew up privileged and that's hard for some people to say, easier for others. I knew a lot of the privilege I grew up with. I didn't even know simple things that I'm learning. I grew up in a lot of black culture. I love basketball. I love sneakers, and not because of any color or anything. And I said this straight to Brian's face. I'm in third grade. I fall in love with basketball, and who's king? Michael Jordan. We're talking early 90s. I'm 7 years old. And that's just what I did. And I told him, I was like, bro, I didn't see color. And then him and I opened that discussion. Well, yeah, that's an issue, Mike. I was like, well, now at 31, I know that's an issue. But at 10, it's not the worst thing. But it's not a good thing. But the issue is I didn't know the history of that color. I didn't know the history of America. I didn't know why and how. You kind of always knew, like, yeah, man, it seems very I know these people, because of their skin color, get treated differently, but you don't know why and how when you're 12. You just say, like, well, that's my buddy. He's on my basketball team, or this is Michael Jordan. I watch him. This is what I'm into. You don't know how and why these things happen. And now I do. I'm 31, and I've taken my energy and time to try to educate myself on this stuff with different documentaries and different books, and just talking to people. Just talking to some of my buddies of all colors on their perspectives. And that's just something that I think I knew inside, but to talk to Brian about it really helped, because him and I have been friends for a long time. I've known him just as long as I've known you guys, 9 years or so. And so to chat about that and just to be able to, like, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to talk to white folk about it and talk to black folk about it, but to know you can talk to friends about it. And if we're all growing towards something and not just yelling at each other, then it's good. And so that was the best thing. I mean, to see his emotions and yeah, I can't really explain it. We have video portion of it, but I don't even know if that's going to do it justice either. It was just me, Jim McD, my buddy Kyle was there filming, and Abs, and maybe the best conversation I've ever had in my life. Maybe the most not eye-opening.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'm excited to listen to it. I know Brian pretty well, probably about a little bit less than you, but like just talking to Brian on a daily basis is an exciting conversation.
It is. And that's how
So it's like when you get him fired up and he's talking about something he's passionate about, you're listening.
It's
because it has substance. It has realness behind it.
He's a special dude to begin with. His energy, it's infectious, and his energy is like 24/7. That was the first thing I opened the podcast. I was like, bro, I've been a fan of like you as like a coach for a while because I did it. I worked 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. coaching people, and I wasn't excited. And somehow you're looking people in the eyes and you're freaking excited to be here. You give people your energy and you have it. I don't know how you do that. And then we dug into some stuff, but
he's got another layer of energy.
He really does. Yeah. So
nonstop.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, it might be out because this will probably come out in about a week and a half, 10 days or so.
It'll be out.
It'll be out by then. So check that out. 50% facts, and you guys can listen to that.
Yeah. I think every American needs to do it. I think everyone's saying I'm busy or I have this or I have this opinion. I don't care what your opinion is right now. I really don't. If we don't educate ourselves in everything, let alone this topic that affects so many, you're doing a disservice to yourself and this country, which I think every single person will look up and say, I love this country. I want it to be its best. So you need to do it. Documentaries, books, whatever it might be.
Yeah. I've been doing some more research myself, and it's definitely true. One thing is that, as a white guy, white people just don't like to talk about it. They don't like to talk about race. And I think some of it's the fear of being labeled a racist, or because you don't know you only use everything you see is through your own lens, right? And so you only know your life experiences, and you can hear about things or whatever, but you're not experiencing them, so you don't really understand, 100%. And then it's like you take a step back and you do the research and you listen to some audiobooks and you watch some documentaries and you read some books, you talk to some friends, and you start to realize like this isn't just an issue that you should just be ignoring. It's like the more comfortable thing to do is ignore it.
Sure.
But if you ever want to get a bunch of white people all riled up, just walk in there and start talking about race issues, and people just shut down.
It's hard. It is hard. And the most uncomfortable thing I think for me is because, again, I grew up in multiple cultures, knowing tons of different people and all this. And that's not an excuse for it being uneducated or ignorant, but it just is my past. And now you want to speak out and you want to speak to people about it, but you don't want to, like you just said, you don't want to come off racist and you don't want to offend anybody. That's my biggest thing is because
I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Yeah. And I did. People are probably going to listen to our podcast and be like, man, Mike, that was a little questionable. Like, well, I was just speaking the best I could with, and if you know me, I'm learning daily, like everyone else is learning daily. And I think that's what people are most scared of too. Like admitting guilt, admitting they didn't know, admitting they're not doing the work. And it's hard. It's just like anything else. If we want to be a good fitness coach, you got to put in time, effort, and work to get educated on the topics. And everyone has to. I think as a human being, you have to get educated on the topics.
And I found, especially over these past few days, like talking to some more people about it, some friends of mine that are Black, and we never really had the race conversation.
I think one of the biggest breakthroughs I've personally so far experienced of many is that now I don't have this hesitation to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Where that was not the case 10 days ago.
Yeah.
Right? Like the growth in just like being more open to having these conversations in public around people that I'm, acquainted with and are super close with. Sure. That's a whole other thing too, has totally changed.
Yeah.
Because I know where I'm coming from.
Right.
And it's coming from a good place. And I know that I don't need to worry about being, saying the wrong thing, because I'm just trying to learn and absorb and recognize what's going on.
And here's the other thing is that us white guys, I've kind of found it seems like we're the only ones that are scared of the conversation.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
You start talking, it's like you talk to someone, and just before this, I was talking to Derek Johnson. He runs a nonprofit down in South Central LA, and it's a great organization we're going to do some things with. And, start talking, I'm all nervous because I've known this guy for years, on a personal level.
We've never conversations about races you guys had.
Just zero, right? And so I call him, I say, hey, man, by the way, and the whole time I'm afraid, like, well, I can say the wrong thing. Is he going to think that I'm a fraud? Is he going to think, whatever? Yeah. But it never goes that way. Every time you start to have it, they're like, oh, yeah. Like, to them, it's a normal conversation. They talk about it all the time. It's only us that are afraid to talk about it.
And that in itself is the layer of the issues. They've been dealing this with their whole life. I haven't dealt with this when I was a kid because, again, I didn't see these things. I was a good human because I took humans for humans, but I was wrong in the fact that, and maybe not wrong because I'm 8 years old, but I'm wrong in the fact that I wasn't educated on maybe. And again, that leads to the next issue, which is the system itself, whether it be the education and what they're leaving out of the history books, or the system itself in terms of politicians and who's voted and who's making decisions and who's really willing to stand up. I think everyone can do a little something. We all have to use the question you asked. What are you good at, Mike? And I don't really know, but somehow I gained an audience. And so I'm trying to do my best with my audience, my podcast, talking to guys like Brian, my voice, talking to guys like you and having that uncomfortable conversation of three white dudes chatting about things we don't know about fully, we'll never understand fully, but at least trying to show the effort and spread some awareness of what maybe we do or don't believe in.
Absolutely.
What, changing topics a little bit here. Yeah. What's your favorite, traveling around a little bit for some powerlifting and seminar, just different stuff. What's your favorite city you've been to or country if you want? I don't know how much internationally you've done, but where's your favorite place to go?
I'm very lucky and not lucky in some senses that all my travel as an adult has been through work. So it hasn't been that much international. I went to Argentina as a kid, Mexico once with a buddy, Canada, with Omar. I love Sacramento, and I know that's dumb to say because I've been here 24 years. I love Sacramento. But a couple other cities I'd say are any city where I could send you. Have you guys ever heard of the game? It's called like Geo something. I forgot the game. It's like a little online web game and they'll send you a picture of Google Earth and anywhere on the world. And they'll have different categories and you have to guess on the map where you are. I love cities that you could see one of those pictures. You're like, I'm in Miami. You know what Miami looks like. I'm in Manhattan. It has a culture. It has a vision. So Manhattan's one of my favorite cities. I love Miami. I really like Seattle. I like Portland. I love it here. I love Tahoe. Tahoe's probably one of my favorite cities.
I think we all kind of take Tahoe for granted. But
100%. I haven't been in like 7 years, dude, to like go hang out.
And it's an hour, or you can get there in an hour, 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so close and it's so easy to get to.
I like that answer though.
I think Miami might be up there. Even though I don't love the heat, I'm not like a beach guy, but it has like such culture about it, and it really feels like an isolated city.
A lot of energy there.
Yeah.
That's all I want to do when I travel is I just want to get some local culture. Like I like to go to like local sporting events, just kind of like hang out in the city, walk around downtown.
In Mexico or something.
What's that?
A cockfight in Mexico.
Go to a cockfight in Mexico.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Austin, Texas is cool because it kind of reminds me a little bit of what Sacramento may grow into. Austin, Texas. I don't know. I need to travel more. I had a little epiphany during the early shutdown. I'm like, man, like what? Because I didn't see my mom for 8 weeks. I didn't know what to do. I don't know how serious this is or isn't, right? The news is blasting this in my face. So I'm like, I'm not going to get my mom sick. Like that's the last thing I'm going to do. Lock down on my house. Didn't see my mom for 8 weeks. I'm like, man, when this bullshit's over, she goes to Argentina about once a year. She's from there. And I'm like, I got to go next time. Like, I don't know what this lockdown shit is, but if I don't get to see my mom, and she lives half an hour away from me, I was like, I don't get to see my mom. What's the point of any of this BS I'm working towards or we're doing out here if I can't see her for 8 weeks? This sucks. So I'm going to try to get to Argentina for some culture in the next couple, maybe, I don't know about months, but years maybe.
Work on your dancing while you're down there.
Dude, my tango, my wine drinking, and my steak eating.
The trifecta.
Yeah.
That's all we got. Yeah, we're good at it.
Triple threat.
So if you, you working for yourself, I know that you like what you do, but let's say if you were to take a week off of work, right? What would you do?
I don't know. I
go to Argentina,
maybe with my mom. Yeah, hang out with my mom for sure. I've never I can't think of like a week I just took off, to be honest. I'm pretty poor at managing my life and schedule. But then the other thing too that no one believes me is I might just do nothing. People are like, well, don't you get bored? I'm like, I don't think so, dude. I can honestly sit on a couch. I could honestly sit on a couch for a very long time. My head races 24/7, whether it's work, life, or personal. And so it seems, hours fly by, whether I want them to or not. I like to chill, Yeah, just relax. Probably visit a couple friends 1 or 2 nights or something. It would be cool if I could take, the homies and mom and end up in a city where I don't have to work. That would probably help me unplug the best.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe a cabin in Tahoe or a cabin on the, northern coast somewhere. And just do nothing, eat food, watch a movie.
See, I need to get up north more. Like, I never do. I really
don't either.
Like, my sister lives up there now, and like,
well, fucking White Walkers, man. I don't want anything to do with that.
I need to get
Bigfoot's up there too.
Yeah, my sister just moved to Oregon, and then like close to the border.
Yeah.
So it's like,
where's she? Is she on the beach, or is she more in the middle?
More.
Is she in Ashland?
I don't know.
Eugene? It's not Eugene.
I'm not sure.
I have some relatives in
she just moved.
Ashland or Medford, like right on that border.
I always see pictures like when John was there, and it's like, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, the coastline. I don't know if you want to call it beaches or not. I think those are my favorite. Weather, even our coast up north here, like Bodega or whatever. Those are my favorite. I think where it's kind of foggy, it's kind of cold, but you have the beach and you have some rocks for some reason. I just love that vibe. That's like sit inside, drink coffee all day vibe to me.
Yeah, I like that. I've got a nice like glass window, and so growing up, we had a buddy whose parents had a lot of money, and they had a giant beach house in Bodega, like by the, but you really couldn't go to the beach where they were. It was like very cliffy, but it was just like the most amazing. It's exactly like what you said. You could park a chair right in front of the glass window, and you got like, probably 300 yards to the cliffs where the water's just crashing. You're just like, oh, this is heaven.
That's like Donner. My best friend had a cabin in Donner. We go there every summer, and like late night summers, it's like 70, 60 degrees. So you'd be comfortable. You just sit on the patio. There's real stars. There's water in front of you. You grab a beer or a coffee or something. Just chills.
Yeah, no light pollution, blinding out the beautiful, night sky.
Yeah, like Sacramento's not that big, but when you live around here, it's a city. It's a different vibe for sure. And I love it. I do love hopping on my bike and getting all around town and doing whatever I want. That's a vibe I love too on the daily. But if you can just unplug and disappear.
So that's a good thing about Sacramento. I think people, like when people that talk about it, that live here, they're like, it's just hard to explain what makes it such a fun place to live, where you get that big city vibe without the excess traffic, and like even on the sidewalks, they're not packed.
Yeah.
But you got this big city vibe and the big city food and coffee shops, but it's just like without all the people.
You don't have like one thing to say. People are like, well, what do you do? Like, well, it's not like we just have a beach, or like, oh, the Statue of Liberty, like, the nightclubs. You can't really, you're right. I don't know what to explain. I just say like, man, good food. It's very walkable, but you can't really experience it until you kind of experience it.
Yeah.
And our culture is just it's undefined for sure. But
that's a good way to, it is.
Yeah, but it's unlike any other city.
It's all over the place, yeah.
It really is, but it's all mom and pop stuff. I think that's the number one. And I don't love our name now, whatever, Farm to Fork. It's kind of a corny name, but it's the truth.
I like the City of Trees.
City of Trees is way better.
Yeah, it's so good. And yeah, it's actually pretty. Like a lot of our architecture is kind of pretty when you get into some of the roots of it, some of our churches and things, some of our old Victorian buildings. The trees are gorgeous. And then all the food, like, yeah, we have a Starbucks downtown, but there's not a lot of like fast food or anything downtown. There's a lot of individual
there's no gas
stores.
stations either.
No, you can't get gas anywhere.
Good luck getting gas downtown. You gotta go on the skirts.
You really do. And same with McDonald's. Now we have a bunch of Starbucks, which is kind of annoying considering we're so good at coffee. But
they kind of hide them though a little bit.
They do pretty well. But yeah, there's no fast food.
Kind of minimal. Yeah.
There's no fast food on the grid, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Very cool.
What are you most proud of?
Oof. I don't know, dude.
I don't know. You want to skip?
I'd like to think my future, whatever's to come.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
I'd like to think whatever I'm going to be most proud of, I'm still working towards. But I guess if I had to say is I as a human here, 31 years as an online creator and a business owner, I've never not been me. I guess that would probably be the most thing. Like I've never,
that's a big one. That's a great answer.
Never sold a product or sponsorship that I didn't want to do. Never created content I never wanted to do. Never, and if I did, I quickly changed course. And your listeners can take that however they want to take that. But I avoid things I don't want to be a part of. I don't hang out or talk to people I don't want to be a part of. I'm open to collaboration and if new people reach out and, hey, you want to do a podcast, I'll do it. But if it's weird or I find something out, I don't align with who I am, I'm not going to do it again. That's for sure. And I'm not going to promote your stuff or whatever, so I'm very proud of always kind of being me, keeping my circle tight. And I guess to be in the game this long, I guess that's something that's like the easiest thing to do, but a lot of people don't even do that.
Well, at 31, you're a veteran. You are a veteran in this space for sure. At a young 31.
Yeah, which is rare. I mean, you guys are too.
Been around, seen it all, talked to everybody. Respected in the community, and it's.
I don't know about that one, but I have been around.
Well, on the other side of things, what's the worst decision you've made?
I don't know if I've made like a really bad decision, but I guess like if you sidestep the question and say like, what am I least proud of kind of thing?
Sure.
I forgot who said it, and I don't want to quote because other people have probably said it too, but it might have been like an Allen Iverson or a Jordan. And by no means do I liken myself to a Jordan. Besides my jumper is really nasty. It's like everyone's like, don't be scared to fail, be scared to succeed, and all these cliche things. But my biggest hurdle or thing I'm not as proud of is that I'm so scared, or have been, I'm getting better at it, to put in my full effort and then fail and then look in the mirror and know I just wasn't good enough. I'm not scared to fail. I opened a gym in 2009 to 2011 and it failed miserably. I've lost thousands of dollars. I've done podcasts that lost thousands of dollars. I've missed millions of lifts in the gym that I've posted on the internet. I've failed a million times. But even with powerlifting, I was kind of joking before because I'm not in love with it like I am in basketball or cultures or coffee even. I like fitness and it's a vessel. But in the beginning, I think I used that as an excuse too. Like, all right, I'm not going to sign my life away to powerlifting because if I'm not the best in the world, I didn't want to go all in. I gave it a lot of effort. I never went out on weekends. I stopped drinking for 5 years. I didn't miss a training session for 5 years. It's not like I'm, pussyfooting around. But to give all of my soul to something. And maybe that's what happened with basketball and it broke my heart, maybe, is the truth. If you guys want to dig in deep into my psyche, is I did give everything to basketball for 15 years. And whether it failure or not, I didn't get to where I wanted to go. Could I have played overseas? Maybe, but that same thing happened. I had offers to go walk on at really big D1 schools, but I was scared I would not get picked and I didn't go. I had the opportunity to go play at St. Mary's College, and as an 18-year-old, I decided not to. I could have been at the Sweet 16 waving my flag from the bench, which could have been a lifelong memory. But because of my ego or because of my fear of failure, I decided not to go. And that's something I deal with now. What businesses to start, what not to do, what content to put out, how much effort to put in. You put so much freaking, and you guys know because you've done it. I mean, Caffeine Kilos is a brand that was talk about old dogs in a new game. You guys have been around. You're still relevant. And you guys, I can tell from the outside and knowing you personally, even if I take away our personal stuff, that you guys work so hard at what you do. And it has done well. But my greatest fear is just to work my tits off and put my heart into something and it do okay.
No, that's a legitimate feeling.
It's almost, it's almost easier to hold back a little bit. Because if it fails, you can always say, well if I would have worked a little bit harder, maybe I could have done it.
And then when it does okay.
What happens if you do put everything you got into it and you fail? Then what?
Then I just don't know where to go, and that's the internal battle. And I'm sure a lot of people feel similar. And some people, are I don't know if that's a perfectionist mentality or what it is that's kind of holding that line. But some people can go all in and be stoked when it does well and change and adjust when it doesn't do well. And that's what I'm trying to learn on. Like, all right, we'll go all in. And if that route kind of doesn't work, I'll just sidestep it and we'll just kind of, and again, I don't think I've ever been lazy. I don't think I've ever been not put effort in,
totally. I think it's coming across pretty clear. What you mean. Yeah.
it's just like putting your soul into it is difficult. It's very difficult. And props to everyone out there doing it, because there are a lot of people doing it, whether it's a cause you believe in, a company you believe in, your own company, even your day-to-day work. If you work at a corporation, there's a lot of people that really care and throw their life into what they do. And I respect that.
I just a couple nights ago, I kind of had this epiphany where kind of the same type thing, just thinking like, you know, man, like there's just no point in holding back, you know, like you think about it. I'm 35. I know you guys are just a couple years younger, but it's like, Mike, you're in the prime of your life.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. You know, it's like, hold back for what? You know, so that you don't feel bad if you fail. Plus, then later when you're a little bit older and maybe a little more tired or whatever, and then you have these regrets looking back. You know, fuck that. Right? Like, you're.
I don't know that. Yeah.
You got to cook while the griddle's hot.
Exactly. Yeah. Because when you're older, you might not have the resources or the energy to do these things. Right now I have the luxury that, you know, I have some success in my businesses that I'm not, you know, needing food. I'm not needing shelter. And so, get a little risky and see what happens.
Yeah. Mike, where can people find out more about you? Where can they follow you? Where can they support you?
Silent Mike, most places. That's what people call me. It's kind of become an ironic name, but Instagram.
All you fucking do is talk.
It's literally what I do for a living all of a sudden. So Silent Mike, Instagram, Twitter. I'd say lukewarm active there. Podcast is 50% facts. YouTube will be coming back probably by the time this episode's out. I got some plans, so YouTube should be back. And then Twitch. If you guys want to hang out, play video games, talk, or whatever it is, it's Silent Mike on Twitch. So appreciate you guys for chatting, man.
Dude, thanks for coming. You want to, in case someone has any personal questions, you want to give them your phone number?
So what's up with that? Is that just a marketing scheme everyone's doing though?
For sure.
Yes.
So here's what happened. I knew it was a marketing scheme.
Yeah.
But I did it anyways, and I tried to text Chris D'Elia.
Okay.
and then my phone has just been spammed ever since. And I knew that was going to happen.
You want to see it come,
but I wanted to see like what he's kind of like associating like with, and I was getting some like gross calls, like not like like this grimy, like they're selling these numbers to anybody that wants them.
That's so weird. Like I get it if it's email.
Like, you're really doing this? Like,
I get it if it's email marketing and you're sending out your own content and your own sales to your own community and offers, but then you start selling it, especially as a big person or celebrity, and now you're doing it over here, not as a brand, and you're selling it to like an insurance company or even
it was like cold, ice cold.
If you're only getting text, if you're only sending text about your company and yourself, and that's what they expected, that's all good.
I'm not.
But it's like it's the other,
and then even the thing too is how they promote it. And I don't know D'Elia by any means, but other people do it, even in our industry at our level. They're promoting it like they're texting you, and so I almost signed up to do it. I was going to go Google, and I was like, and that's what Twitch is for me anyways. Like, it's immediate interaction. You type in, I'm saying your little username, and we're becoming friends. Like, some of these people I know now, like that hang out every day. And I know where they live. I know their sister's name. I know their job. Like, it's really, and so I was like, if that's like a thing, maybe I'll do that. Like, to really grow community, something great, not to go backwards and run this thing on, but something great that Devontae Clark said in the protest the other day. He's like, let's stop having neighborhoods and bring back communities. And that goes way deeper when he's saying it. But even on every level, I think that's something that we need to work on. And props to you guys again for doing that with your brand. I think you guys work really hard to kind of to fill that out, and that's something I respect too. But that's something that I'm going to work hard towards now, kind of in everything I do.
For sure.
There we go. All right. Well, Silent Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for making the time, buddy. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, boys.